So I decided I'm going to buy an old canal boat. Tiny little problem. I know absolutely nothing about canal boats. Maybe except for the fact that I would love to live on one. Hey, I'm Nika. For the past 13 years, I've been living and traveling on my sailboat Carl. It's been an incredible adventure filled with challenges and absolute freedom, a life shaped by the rhythm of the ocean. But over time, I realized that alongside this wild and salty way of life, I also long for something else. A place to slow down, to feel grounded, and to be closer to the people I love. And that's why I'm now searching for a canal boat. I'm spending the summer in Germany, and for the past week, I've been on a quest to try to figure out how I'm going to tackle this new project. Obviously, first step, buy a book. Or actually, I bought two. One of them, how to buy a barge, and the other one, how to handle a barge, just in case I do end up buying one. Turned out that was definitely a good starting point. Let me know in the comments how you would have started this new project and how you would have looked for the information that you needed to actually make up a plan. The other thing I did was to join the DBA, the Barge Association, and they have a really extensive forum where I spend hours diving into the different topics related to barges, only to figure out that I actually knew less about barges than I thought. Of course, I looked at some YouTube channels about narrow boats and canal boats to get some inspiration, and I was sourcing some boat listing pages, trying to narrow down the parameters, and I quickly realized that I still didn't know enough about narrowboats to confidently define the parameters of what I was actually looking for. So I decided that I was going to take the same approach that I did way back then when I was looking for a sailboat. If you don't know about my sailboat adventures with my sailboat Carl, then I'm going to put the link to those stories up there. Make sure to check them out to get an idea of how I actually got to this point that I'm wanting to buy a canal boat now. Anyways, back then, the approach was that because I didn't know really what I wanted, I was going to look at a really wide range of very, very different boats, and through that journey, try to figure out what I actually appreciated or liked in a boat, what was important for me, and what I didn't like, and what was like no-go parameters. So I decided I was going to do the same with the quest for the canal boat. And with that in mind, I went full throttle forward, and I actually found 6 very different boats that I want to look at. Some of them within my budget, some of them a little bit outside of my budget. And I started planning a trip to the Netherlands and Belgium to take a look at them. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna make some phone calls. Exciting! Okay, perfect. Well, I'll see you next week. Bye. Thank you. Wow, that was the first call. It's getting kind of real now. This is like one of the boats I'm going to look at next week. Alrighty, I'm trying this one via WhatsApp. The other one I called on the phone. It was a little tricky. This one is actually one that I really like. It's one of my favorites. So I'm a little bit excited to write them. It's still online, so it still should be available. But yeah, it's really cute. It's super cute. I really like it. There's one or two I'm looking at that I'm not so excited about. I'm just looking at them to get a better understanding, but this one is actually one that I really like. And it's gonna be the first one I'm looking at. 3 meetings are confirmed now. It's getting a little bit exciting. Alrighty, all the bags are packed, ready to go. We're gonna depart here in about maybe 10 minutes, if we're ready. I'm not sure. My mom is still packing, I think. We're packing like as if we're leaving on a trip for 3 months, but we're just going 2 weeks. I'm super excited, but I also feel extremely unprepared. Wie viele Monate wollten wir verreisen? Ein halbes Jahr?
Mindestens. Fertig, Burger! Fertig!
I didn't want to go on this journey alone, so I asked my parents to join me. I planned a fun 2-week road trip through the Netherlands and Belgium, exploring potential boats together. Our first stop, Veerhausen, a small village in the north of the Netherlands, close to the North Sea. It's about 340 kilometers due west from our starting point. The sun is shining, and I couldn't be more excited for the adventure ahead. Welcome to the Netherlands! Interesting, in the Netherlands, in the middle of the Autobahn, where you go 100 kilometers an hour, there's a bridge that opens. So you have to stop and let the bridge open up in the middle of the Autobahn. So on our trip we have a couple of special accommodations planned, and our first one is gonna be glamping. So it's gonna be some tents, but kind of like an apartment, but inside a tent. Yeah, we're excited. My parents are super excited because they love camping. So I hope it's gonna be okay and they're not gonna kill me. Well, we've arrived at our first stop, a glamping site in Veerhausen. It feels like a little holiday village with tents of all different sizes scattered around. Well, shall we take a look inside? There is a cozy room with a double bed, a cute little bathroom, a second room with a bed and 2 bunk beds, a kitchen, lounge area, and a big dining table. Pretty much everything you need. But first things first. Time for a cold blonde in the sun to celebrate the start of our trip. Belgium Anchor beer in Holland. Aber was ist denn rote Bessen? Erdbeeren mit rote... We're on our way to get some coffee, and we stopped by this little stall next to the road. No one here, but a bunch of jam, homemade jam. So you can either pay by QR code if you have a Dutch bank account, or you can pay with money into this little box. And we're gonna buy 2 homemade jams. Apparently it's €2 for a pot. We love that people still trust in this country. It's really beautiful, and it's like right from the field onto our breakfast croissant. Awesome. We're in a place that's called Veerhausen. Veerhausen?
Veerhausen.
Veerhausen. I'm still trying to learn the Dutch pronunciation. It's not easy. So we're in a place called Veerhausen, and we're in a beautiful little glamping tent. We just had our first night. We got woken up by a crazy, what is it, a flock of geese? And today at 1 o'clock is gonna be the first boat visit. It's gonna be exciting. I feel completely unprepared, but it's just gonna be taking a peek. This is gonna be a boat that is not really inside the top choices anyways, because it's a little bit too long. It's 26 meters and 25 is kind of like my cut. And it doesn't have a motor, which it didn't say in the ad, but when I talked to the broker, he told me it doesn't have a motor, so it can't be moved, and it's also not registered. So it's got a couple of no-goes, but still I want to take a look at it just to, see how I like it, and just to groove into it. It's probably best to start with a boat that is not one of your top favorites, just to groove into the process of, what questions you want to ask, how the whole process is going to take place, and yeah, so that's the plan for today. It's cute. We're driving across a couple of canals already, and you can see all the boats parked on the side of the canals. It's a bit exciting seeing that and thinking that maybe soon I'll have one myself. So all this area that we're driving on right now used to be ocean. So basically they built dams and created more land. In German we call it Polder. Have no clue how you'd call that in English. So it's all super flat and basically below sea level or at sea level. And the only reason why there is no water is because they built like dams around it. The first boat I'm looking at is a 26-meter Steilstiegen. And as I walk up to her, I notice my knees feel a little bit wobbly. I still can't believe I'm actually out here searching for a new floating home. She looks absolutely charming, resting there on the canal, and my mind immediately starts painting pictures of my future life on the water. But wow, this is a completely different story from my 11-meter sailboat Carl. She's big. Whoa, it's big. Stepping inside, I'm met with a long corridor leading to 3 rooms, a massive engine room, and a spacious head. Okay, now this is funny. You did ask if the boat had a hot tub. It actually does have a hot tub. Go figure. And if that wasn't big enough, wait until you see the huge living area in the bow, complete with a large kitchen. Of course she needs a lot of work, and she's currently not certified. Plus at over 25 meters, she's technically too long for me. I'd need a full riverboat pattern to drive her, which is kind of a deal breaker. But despite all that, I love the feeling I get while walking through this boat. Standing by the big windows and looking out at the lush green countryside, I feel like I'm on the right path. And at the same time, I won't lie, it's a little overwhelming, and I'm trying to remember all my questions, make sure I don't miss any important details, and gather enough information to compare all the boats I'll see on this trip. So, what do you think? Would you go for this boat? Let me know in the comments. Before we wrap up the day, we'll visit a nearby windmill from the late 19th century because, well, when in the Netherlands, and then it's off to the next stop where another boat is waiting for us. But more about that next time.